Oh, hello. Good evening. This is Dirty 20 Gaming, and my name is Kevin. And as of the day that we are recording this, it is actually International Women's Day. And I am the luckiest human being that I know today because I am surrounded by a group of friends, all of whom are wonderful, talented, spectacularly skilled, helpful, and joyful, and they are also all women. And that makes me really, really happy. These wonderful people have agreed to come and play this game with me tonight, and we're going to talk about the game in a minute, but we're going to talk about the people first, and we're going to talk about the people in the order that they are in Zoom so I don't forget anybody again. And yes, hashtag women in gaming, go hard. Uh, I wasn't going to say much about this, but I will add this. Since women have broken down the door and knocked down the gatekeepers and said, we want to play too, you have literally changed the way games are written, developed, and played for the better. Ah, now, let's introduce some people that have played games with me over the past. The theme here, with one exception, is I haven't seen you in ages. Solar, you've been a regular on our channel since forever, forever, forever. But timing and spacing and scheduling, we haven't played on the same stage in a very long time. So, first of all, great to see you again. And second of all, what are you up to?
Nothing. We just finished our campaign last Thursday, so
Yeah.
as of now, I have nowhere to plop my happy little tushy down. So I will be looking forward to hopefully joining another campaign soon. Other
Excellent.
than that, I'm busy working and wanting to stream, but not ever getting to it.
Yeah, yeah, totally understand that. Speaking of the Thursday game, heavy sigh because it's over, but hooray, bittersweet, amazing run. Let's move on to Sarah,
Uh,
who
yeah,
ran it, by
we
the way.
just
That was
finished.
why that segue made sense. Go.
Oh yeah. um, but yeah, I did run that one. I will also be running the next Thursday game too,
Yep,
because that just went out.
yep.
So yeah, hi, my name is Sarah. I am here technically 3 times a week.
Yep.
Not so much this week, but coming week. Uh, I am here for the Tuesday game and the Cyberpunk Red Carnage Heights game, Magic, Broken Heart of the Team Silverlock. Um, I'm also here on the Sunday game, our 7th Sea Shadow of the Vaktem, Rosa Nix, the Horrid Woman. I'm gonna hold that over his head as long as I can.
Yep.
And we'll be starting a City of Mist campaign relatively soon.
Oh, lovely. I'm looking forward to that. I played that system. That is superheroing the way it should be done. So looking forward to that. All right. Next. Talking about ages since we've had the pleasure of being on the same stage with you. In fact, it's been ages since we've seen you on any stage, really. Karis Sophia, welcome, welcome, welcome. I can't say that word enough times. Welcome back. What else are you doing? I know you just started doing some other stuff. What are you doing?
I'm doing Minecraft. I play a ton of D&D, but none of it happens to be on stream these days.
Mhm.
But I am in the Discord quite a bit.
Lots and plenty.
Link in
Yes.
chat.
Yes, link in chat. Well, thank you for that. Next, I only know this because somebody figured it out for me. Leah, it has been 2.5 years since we last played together, and
Yes.
weirdly enough, that was a Disney-inspired game, which will become apparent why that's weird in a minute when we talk to our final player this evening. But first of all, good to see you again. And second of all, other than you're also doing a lot of on offline stuff, right?
Yes, I play quite a few offline D&D games and just stay very busy.
Oh, yes, easy to do. And yes, it always makes me happy when people say I'm in a lot of games. And those of you that aren't, I'm doing my best. We'll get you into more. Um, but this brings us around the table to really the reason we're here tonight. Here comes the pressure, by the way, Janet. Here's where I talk about you and how amazing you are for a minute, so get ready to take it. One of our newest members to our community and an amazing addition to the family, Janet came to us from almost as halfway around the world as you can get from where I live, 9 time zones away out of a possible 12 in Central Europe, in
It's
Poland.
1 a.m. now.
It's 1 a.m. where you are right now. So yeah, it's 4 where I am, 4 in the afternoon. So the fact that you do this on a regular basis and stay up until 3 o'clock in the morning to play with me on a Friday does my ego no end of good. You make me feel damn good about myself when you're willing to do that. And then when you came to me and said, I've had a game in my head for 7 years, can you help me get it out? And I of course, I said yes. And this game is something else. Janet, we're gonna play it in a minute, but
And it's my
first,
first.
and it is your
And my
first
first
game.
ever.
So I know normally I ask people what they do here, and I ask them to put up their links. I'm not gonna do that with you. I'm gonna ask you one simple question: how do you feel right now?
Okay. Nervous.
Nervous,
Nervous.
yes, and I hope proud.
Yes. But I feel like I will be more proud at the end.
Let's get started. If I wanted to be really fancy pants about this, I would say that this game that you have designed is an homage to a genre. But if I wanted to be more real, I'd say it's a love story to Disney movies. It really is. It's something special. It is sharing joy on a personal level. It is sharing a joy so pure I couldn't possibly say no when I was asked to help bring it to light. And I know these people jumped like both feet on me when I said, "Would you like to Disney?" And they landed before I finished the Disney. And there were more that wanted to play. So it's going to be a lot of fun playing this tonight. So I am honored and overjoyed to present the very first public presentation of Saviour's Quest and our very first adventure, which is called Malcontent. We start with a cutaway scene. A village in flames. People running around with buckets of water and sand trying to douse the flames. Others are helping the injured. But this is not the scene of a defeat. This is one of victory. As burned, bedraggled, and exhausted as the town folks are, they won. Together they drove off the hag on the hill. They drove off Maleficent. We find our antagonist fleeing, all purple and black smoke, emitting rage and pale blue flames. But for a moment we cut back to the town, because in this town center stand a group of women. Beaten, battered, bruised, but victorious. Once they know that Maleficent's gone, they turn, and like the heroes they are, start helping the others. We cut again back to the woods. Maleficent is defeated and enraged. Her nearly discorporate form streams up valleys and ravines to her lair. Once there, she transforms into her regal self and starts to plot. A terrible oath reverberates over and over off the bare rock walls of the castle. I will defeat them before they defeated me. Time will tell. Time will tell. Time will tell. We cut back to the village, but it's different. Smaller, less cluttered. Some of the folks we saw before are there, but they're 2 decades younger. We've come back in time. Maleficent's castle rocks and flickers with screams of petulant rage. As the creatures and the ravens flee the valley, you can see them flying out. You can hear her voice, somehow changed and absolutely furious. I've gone back in time too. I'm a teenager. Her voice cracks on the last word, and you can just hear the bitterness. It's all but melting the walls. And then you hear it, the inevitable, life's not fair. But no one in town hears that. It's quite a distance off, after all. We see a normal day in a normal village with normal village people. The camera starts to zoom into the ones that we saw 20 years in the future, but now they're 20 years younger. They look far more innocent. In fact, they look kind of like this. Prince Hikaru, what are you doing on a normal day in your village? And what do they see when they look over your magnificence?
They see a generally normal sized human male, fiery red eyes, and just as fiery red hair kept back behind him in a ponytail, braid, whatever you want to call it. A gentle crown placed upon his head, of course. He's just walking with groups of guards around him. And he has this smugness about him. Like, I'm better than you. He will go through and even like kick a child out of the way if the child just falls down in front of him.
Oh, yes, the perfect opening Disney scene. From there, the camera scatters with the child, only to pan back up into one presumes a back alley where we find Faith. What does the camera see? Or not see, as the case may be.
So Faith actually helps the kid up who got kicked. And like checks on him like, you good? Didn't he hit you too hard this time?
No, I don't think he was even really trying today.
And takes out like a small I'm gonna call it, yeah, it's gonna be a tomato.
Yeah.
And sorry, Solar. Just gonna from the shadows chuck it at this prince.
As you do, the kid's eyes go as you throw the tomato, and they don't even see it hit. They turn back to you, and it's just hero worship. Just we cut away because that tomato's not going to hit until actually everybody gets described. Because of the order, let's do Vicky next. Where are you in the village? And then what do we see?
I'm in center of village, going to shop with magic ingredients, and while I'm going, I'm thinking like I want show what I'm capable, and that one day this will happen.
The first musical of the evening. You're singing your way through the beautiful idyllic village, off to make potions, telling the world
And
how.
and I'm thinking, I want something like I want someday this life change and what see what I'm capable.
A little bit of foreshadowing, a little bit of naivete. Where I want a big adventure, and in 2 days you're going, that was a ridiculously dangerous adventure. But yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful.
And I'm kinda like Belle from Beauty and
Yep,
Beast.
just as happy and as bouncy as you could
Yeah, but she
possibly
was
imagine.
thinking like every day I have enough of this provincial life. I want to take adventure.
Oh, I knew this was going to be amazing. So, this is perfect because we cut away from the singing bell of the ball, to where? Slightly into the woods,
And
or
also,
are you guys in town?
and also I don't describe how I look.
Oh yes, yep.
I'm
You,
I'm
yeah.
wearing a black, purple coat and blue, and a hood on my head.
Yes, and you've got the wand, right?
Yeah,
The white
but I'm
wand.
keeping this in pocket while
Ah,
I'm singing.
okay. Yes. Yeah, you don't be waving your wand around while you're singing. So these are the only ones I'm going to ask where you were. Maple and the bear. Um,
Well,
where
I
were?
don't know where Maple wants us to be, but I am sitting out of old Goody Sheldon's garden munching on the berries, the raspberries that I'm not supposed to be in. I'm doing it again.
And Maple.
And Maple is flying around poor the bear's head, going, "You're not supposed to be doing this. You're not supposed to be doing this."
Grr.
And
Munch,
it's
munch,
trying to
munch,
tug
munch.
on an ear and say, "Come
Ooh,
on,
ooh. Bear likes scritchy ear scritchies. Ooh, ooh.
Now you're eating berries and
And then
getting
she gets up.
scritchies.
Then she gets tired of pulling, and then she plops down between her ears and goes, "Well, give me one."
Brr.
Because you're
I'll
little,
sort of,
right? You're just the fairy, right?
Yeah.
and I'll push a branch up towards you so you
Oh,
can get a
like a
berry.
Grab a berry
buffet. Yeah. So,
Goody Sheldon is not going to be happy with us.
No.
actually, I'm gonna presume the two of you can communicate directly, right? Maple and the
Yeah.
bear. It's as words. Maybe humans couldn't understand it, but you have perfect communication with each other.
Yeah, we
Yeah. There is a. I want to do a little tiny cutaway there because they cut inside to what was her name? Granny
Goody Sheldon.
Goody Sheldon. She's inside looking out the windows, going, That's right, dear. Just eat all those berries. I don't like those ones. As long as you don't eat the tomatoes." She slides the curtain back closed so as not to disturb you. In other words, this town is idyllic as idyllic can be. Everybody's doing their thing. Maybe a few people are a little bit bored, but as the sun starts to set on another beautiful day, I want everybody who has an intelligence of more than 4 to
Me
make
roll.
us a roll, please.
For me roll.
Yeah, I
Because
will
I
do so.
have.
Yep. So while we all do that, save your results. Okay.
Two
This makes
blacks.
perfect. Yeah. So before we get the results, I want to
Right.
before people start saying 2 blacks play,
Okay.
one black. Each character has traits, stats, just like any other game. To be able to try to do a thing, you have to have a minimum. So I said everybody with a intelligence of 5 or above gets to try this. They then rolled 2 dice, but the dice don't have numbers on them. They're 6-sided dice, but 3 of those sides are black and 3 of those sides are white. And they roll the 2 of them together. If you get two white sides as a result, very good things happen. If you get 1 white and 1 black, you still succeed, but there might be less. You still succeed, but something else might happen. And if you get 2 black sides, things go horribly wrong. So, using your intelligence to hear the ruckus in the woods. Vicky, you rolled 2 blacks. So in my head, that means you walked into the store and the door closed behind you. The ting and the
Yeah,
little bell and
and
the
I
people
also.
you missed.
Yeah,
So
and
yeah,
also. And yes, and I also ending thinking when I touch
and you were singing
door.
too. That's fair, also. Yeah.
And
Uh,
I touch, and when I touch a door in knob, I'm ending thinking and then come to store.
yeah. Walk inside and the ting ting because there's always a little bell, and the person behind the counter smiles at you, and you miss the noise outside. Faith, did I hear you did 2 blacks as well?
Yep, I got 2 blacks.
So what were you doing that distracted you while
I was throwing the tomato.
You were still throwing the tomato, right? Okay, which brings us to Hikaru. What did you roll?
1 black and 1 white.
Perfect. You succeeded, but you succeeded. You have heard this sound before. They've come here before. There's goblins a coming through the trees, and then splurt, a tomato hits you.
You should also say about experience.
Oh yes,
about it.
thank you. If you rolled a white and a black, you get 5 experience points.
I
If you
rolled
roll
2
two
whites.
whites, you get 10 experience points and a major success, which we will get to in just a second. If you roll 2 blacks, you get none. Uh,
Okay.
so it is pretty much every time you do something, you're going to get experience points. You who rolled the actually, I want to ask the the bear did not get to roll because they do not have an intelligence of 5. Yes, which meant
Grrr.
but the fairy, the frustrated fairy, Maple, whose Maple is probably starting to boil at the bear at this point. You 10 experience points, and you hear the goblins coming, but you hear something else. Bigger, heavier steps. There's some, for lack of a better word, combat goblins in this group that's coming. So you've got the clearest picture. The town is completely surrounded by a horde of goblins that's coming. I mean, the goblins are bigger than you, but they're not very big. You know, they're sort of a meter tall. But there's a few spread in here and there of these bigger, sort of much tougher, fightier goblins coming. With that information and experience points taken as your results, let's start with the person who has. Does anybody have a gymnastics above 6? You do, of course, you do, Faith. So the turn order in this game, you do as well. Yes, you're both 7s, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. This game turn order is determined by your gymnastics. In other words, your snap ability to react, right? So which one of you wants to go first? You guys tied, so you decide.
You can go first.
Okay.
Faith.
I'll go first this time, and then next time you can.
Okay.
Okay.
And I don't know about the goblins, right?
You rolled 2 blacks, right?
Yeah.
So, perfect. The first thing you see of this, you like the tomato hit. You go, yeah, and you turn around to accept the applause of the youth of the town, right? Because you're their hero, and you see over their heads the goblins come boiling out of the trees. Oh, I love
getting the
this
kids out
because
of the
now
way.
the kids are between you and the goblins. Okay. So you said getting the kids out of the way,
Yeah.
vaulting over them and getting between them and the goblins, or pushing them into a building.
Pushing them into a building.
Okay.
It's not staying up.
And then turn to face. That's. I'll put like a fake one in during editing, and I'll make sure it never quite matches. All right, so you've only seen, because I want to keep this a secret to Faith, you've only seen the regular goblins coming down the alley, so they're kind of the same height as the kids. the little human kids are going in there, and the goblins are coming down the alley. And it's all sort of happening at half your height.
Yeah.
So that's where we'll leave you, Maple.
Yes.
How do you react to, because you have perfect knowledge of this? Like, you're surrounded. Village makes good berries. You
Very
have
good
bear
berries.
at your disposal. What would you do in this instance?
I am going to point the bear's nose at the nearest goblin
Okay.
and
Regular goblin or big goblin?
whichever one's closest to me. I don't know which one,
Okay.
if the big ones or the little ones are closest. If the
I
big
like
one-
the idea of a big one being nice and close, because I want to see a bear and a
And
big
I'm
goblin.
going to whisper in his ear, "It's after your berries."
So facing big goblin. All right.
And I am going to then put a barrier around my bear and
Okay.
ride
Okay.
her like a little between her ears.
Absolutely. So,
if she takes off, I take off.
Perfect. Here's a great spot to segue in with a small tutorial about spells. You have used that spell. It's going to work. You have a barrier which will protect you for 3 turns, and you put a little X. Now there's a beside on the character sheet. There's a whole row of X's after each spell. Fill one of those in. When you get to 10, so when you use a spell 10 times, that spell levels up.
Cool.
So in this case, your barrier normally would protect one person, but because you're sitting on another person,
We
you were
don't
kind of
shot.
cheating already. Yeah.
We don't shot roll 2 with spell.
They've got a magic of at least. They've got a magic of 7, right?
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
asking because sometimes we roll the spells.
Yeah. In my head, we only rolled the ones that were going to do damage or do stuff that are. There's a
Okay.
chance because this isn't going to fail, right? The
Okay.
bear is not going to fight getting shielded. Was my thought.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Nah.
Oh, that's how we do it with only one thing. You actually cast. This is a new game, so this is why we're figuring stuff out. Maple, if you cast barrier on bear, then you are inside barrier on bear.
Yes.
So it's still only one person that's affected. It's just the person is bear. So yes.
And I'm big.
That's why I'm
And
holding
she's
onto ears
between
of
my
bear.
ears.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm holding onto ears and kind of driving.
And
the
it
bear.
says a protective bubble pops up depending the character. So for 3 turns, its physical damage cannot be done to bear. So
Grr.
perfect. That's Maple. I think everybody else has got a gymnastics of 5, right? Okay. So in that case, because it just makes, I think it makes sense. You all go at the same time, but it makes sense to do bear now, I think, because Maple just gave bear instructions. So bear.
Okay.
And
The
I
goblins-
go charging off after that big goblin that is coveting my berries.
Yes, that goblin over there is about to get smashed.
Grr, and I go charging off with an angry roar.
And a barrier in front of you. So, I'm going to get you to the combat, and then we're going to start at next round. Because you have barrier up, I just realized. I'm only going to allow this, I think, on the smaller animals. But the little goblins just kind of get pushed aside by it. Like, it's not doing any damage, but it just, you run through and the barrier just sort of pushes them out of the way. This is just like the rubber, like one of those sumo suits. Just boing, 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 as you head right at this big goblin. And we leave you in midair, rawr, lips flapping in the motion of your own speed. And a tiny, tiny fairy holding your ears with their wings flapping in the wind, looking. How are they looking? Maple, what is the look on the tiny fairy's face as we zoom in?
If you zoom in, Maple has the biggest grin on her face because she is just having the absolute best time. She's like,
It's goblin thumping time. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. I think I would like Vicky to go last because in my head you're still oblivious because you're in the shop. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I would like to do health potion and bomb potions.
Okay, actually, let's do that. I like that. Yeah, in that case, let's do it right now. We cut from bear attacking goblin to inside the shop, quiet, as though nothing's going on. Vicky has purchased some ingredients and gone across
brewing.
And there's a little mortar and pestle and a setup in the far corner, and you go over there. And for this one, we were doing your magic, right? So as your ability?
No, alchemy.
Alchemy,
Yeah,
yes.
magic.
Yes, which is, okay. So in that case, you did a 1 white and 1 black, which means we figured this out during the playtest. You create 3 healing elixirs.
I wanted also bombs.
Okay.
Like something like Molotov.
of this scene. So it's healing potion, healing potion, healing potion, la da 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 da, and small nuclear device, small nuclear device, small nuclear device. But yeah, let's see. I want to do this. Let's see. Of course, it's 2 white. So first of all, you got 5 for the first one, 10 for the second one. So that's now 15.
I want purple these bombs. Oh, look.
Uh,
And bubble like bottle bubble.
what color are they? What color is the juice?
Healthy will be green elixirs and bombs purple.
Okay, so yeah, you hold up the nice green sort of like I'd drink that, that colored green,
Yeah.
and you put those in your pouch, and then on the other hand you pick it up, it's inside the vial, and go bloop, 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 bloop. Even the glass doesn't look like it wants to be there, and you
Yeah.
carefully, I presume, put those in another pocket. So, but because you got 2 whites, not only do you get the 10 experience points, you got 5 bombs and 3 elixirs. So I guess we know what kind of alchemist you are. They sing and blow stuff up. I'm waiting to see this. So does that work?
Yeah.
All right. So that leaves us with a prince and
The thief.
the thief. Yes. No,
No.
thief already went. No, just
No,
the
Oh, just
prince.
the prince.
Actually, which makes perfect sense. As usual, the last person in the village to know it's not true in this case, but Hikaru, they come the critters, the goblins come boiling out of the trees. You expected that, but then you see the big ones. Like it's almost like the trolls in Lord of the Rings. Like they're standing 3 times, twice the height of a normal goblin. It's still only as tall as you, but that's a damn big goblin, and there's a number of those. You, before I get you to tell me what you're going to do, you know stuff because you're a prince that some of these other people don't know. And you notice in your infinite tactically trained at a highly trained tactical knightly school head sees that they aren't running in randomly. They're aimed for 3 specific buildings which have 3 specific things in them. The first one is the bonnet of truth. When you're wearing it, you cannot lie. That is in a museum, a small museum in town. The second one is the sword of righteous light. That's in the church. And the third one is I guess I should tell you, the sword of righteous light does extra damage to evil foes when wielded by one who is true of heart. And the third thing is the wand of confusing mists. It basically casts confusion on a group of people. Because you're a prince, you know where those things are secreted. The third one, the wand, is actually in the shop that Vicky's in.
Okay.
So those are your 3. Those are the things you know. You're being attacked. They're going for those 3 things. What then, in your royally duty, would you do?
Well, obviously the guards around me also pull out their swords.
Oh yes, yeah.
Of course, and so, they surround me trying to protect me, but of course I'm like, nah, I got this too. So I pull out my own sword.
Yeah.
And I point at those like, I command you guys to get out of here. You will not want to get into what you're trying to get into. You will face danger.
Okay.
Kind of bullshitting.
Okay. So your group of guards, the leader looks over at you and says, "Your Highness, should we protect somewhere, Your Highness? Your Highness."
Yeah, he will direct them, direct like 2 of each of them to go to each of the spots.
Okay. Okay, and so you send them on their way, and then what is it you're trying to do there? Are you trying to intimidate the goblins?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. I would say say. I'm just trying to figure out what trait that would be.
Charisma.
Charisma, absolutely, 100%. Yep.
course.
So give me a charisma of at least 6 to do this, because a normal person with a 5 would not be able to even consider this. So you got a charisma of 7, right? Being a prince.
Yeah.
Okay. So give
I'm a
us the
princess.
roll. Oh, for story purposes only. Oh, that's even better. Okay.
What colors?
You rolled
2
two
whites.
whites. It froze me. You rolled 2 whites. So that is 10 experience for the 2 whites.
Mhm.
And you as you, yeah, I can still do this. You had me frozen for a second, but I got this. All the little goblins it's force of habit, right? Somebody has told them, someone who just exudes authority has told them to bugger off. And they just kind of do. They just kind of peel off and head off into the trees, which is good, but it does leave all the big ones. And now that all the little ones are gone, there's quite a few of them sort of all over the place. And that's where we'll end the first round. Except at the end of every round is when the minions get to go. GMs, you're welcome. Minions go last in this game. One of the bajillion wonderful things about this system that Janet has built is minions go last. So you never forget them. So, yeah, let's do this. The bear and the fairy, you are just headlonging through all this group. They're pinging off of your barrier. There's a big goblin standing right in front of you. You see the little ones sort of pull off into the trees, and then you're in that time zone lock, and bang, the two of you come together, except you don't, because you have your barrier up. So this thing has got its big spiky mace, and it just goes off the barrier. What do you do from inside? Oh no, wait a minute, that's still their turn. That's yours. So yours just goes doing, and you're standing right in front of you, stunned. Hikaru, the little ones are all gone. Your guards are running down the street in groups of 2, which is great, except it leaves you unprotected, and you turn around and there's one of them charging at you. So they get to roll as well. But what is your fight skill? Fighting should be 5, I think, right?
5.
5? Okay. Theirs is only 3, which means that they have to roll 2 whites just to damage you. If you have the same or lower than the person you're attacking, a white and a black does 1 point of damage and 2 whites does 2. But in this case, it's going to take them 2 whites just to hit you. And there they are, 2 whites. So you turn around and sort of, you try to give them the heroic pose, and again, this time the spiky ball just hammers you in the chest, and you see your very nice, expensive armor kind of crinkle, like it probably shouldn't. And you take 1 point of health. So if your health is now at 5, take that down to 4. But
My health is at 1.
You only have 1 health. Well. That's right. Princes are fragile things. So yes, this is perfect. Actually, I love this. Hikaru, you turn around and you see the armor cave in. That kind of hurts. Why is it getting black in here? And why am I looking at sky? And poof, you hit the ground. You're not dead. You're not really unconscious, but you're doing that thing where you kind of try to get up, but you keep missing when you try to put your hand on the ground. And no matter how hard you try, up won't stay up. You're just kind of spun. Luckily for you, they're not here to kill you. It steps over you, and you watch it step into the church where the sword of the righteous light. It breaks a window, a stained glass window, and climbs into the church. Your guards are around the front, so they didn't see it. You try to get up, miss the ground. Try to get up, miss the ground. It's like sitting in a rocking chair, but only you're in it. And that's where we're going to leave Hikaru. Faith. Last kid in the door. The last kid looks up at you and says, I'll fight with you. And you just slam the door in their face. Yeah. You turn around and the little goblins are gone for a split second. You've got time, right? It's like, what? Wait a minute. Did I just... And then this 2-meter tall, 6-foot tall goblin steps around the corner and he starts doing the like the Indiana, just before Indiana Jones shoots him.
That's where my brain went immediately.
Yeah, was doing that, walking towards you with his fancy little stick with a spike through it. This is still their turn, so he runs up to you and has a swing. What is your fighting? 5, right?
5.
Okay, so again, same thing. Yeah, a white and a black, they swing, but by the time it gets there, you're gone. It's like you do the thump, and it's just the shape of you and dust, and it goes whiff, and then you start. Yeah, it's that move. So they miss you. Which brings us to Vicky.
Me.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're in the
I
shop. Yep. I just want to set this
In
up for
this-
you,
In
because
this shop,
Yeah.
we are want of confusion.
Yeah.
I call it Clement.
yep, absolutely. But I want to set this up for you because you just finished putting the last potion in your pocket, and the door slams open, and standing in the door is one of these double-sized goblins, and it starts looking around the
wait.
store.
I will talk to clerk of shop and ask in whispering, where is want?
You'll have to wait though,
me.
because this is still their turn, right? This is the end of the turn. This is the minions' turn, so they kick the door open. They don't get to attack you, but they kick the door open, and that's your first moment where you realize that this town is under attack.
Yeah, but my first thing would be talk to clerk of
Oh, yeah.
shop
You bet
to
you're
ask
going to be
where
able to
is
do that.
want.
Yep.
But
Their
in
turn is-
whispering.
Their turn is done right now. So that's 1 round of your barrier is done, Maple. So you got 2 rounds left. And we go back to the top of the turn order, which is Faith.
Yeah. We said that we Faith and the fairy would switch
Okay, so yeah, in that case, Maple.
because we're both 7s.
Yes.
Yeah, we're both 7s.
Yeah.
Okay, so as we are almost onto the bear,
Yeah.
I am going to blind the bear or the
The goblin. Okay.
goblin
So
Oh,
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
so that it
So yeah, you
can't
and then it looks up at you, and you just. What does that look like? A little tiny fairy cast a
I'm a
spell
little
that makes a
tiny
big scary goblin go blind. What does that look like?
I shoot sparkles from my fingers and it shoots right in his eyes, and you know how totally like
Yeah, like
the
salt
little
in the
pupils
eyes.
go right to pinpoints, and he's like, can't see. And
Yeah.
yeah, totally blind.
Perfect. So that's that. Yeah. I want to do bear right now just because it makes sense. Then we'll cut to Faith. So bear, yeah. Now in front of you is a blinded, stunned big goblin. What do you do?
Well, I don't notice it's stunned. So
No.
I just go charging in, roar, and I'm going to maul the thing.
Just maul the hell out of it. All right, give me. Yeah, you got a strength of 7. This is not a problem. You roll regularly. There's no. So yeah, if you roll a white and a black, you'll do 1 point. If you roll 2 whites, you'll do 2 points.
I lost my character. No, I found it. I lost. I lost.
There are days.
I found roll 20. I'm doing what? Oh, rolling, right.
There are days when I want. Yeah, I have
Oh,
three.
no! I rolled 2 black.
I set you up for a perfect thing.
I know.
No!
I know exactly what happened. It's perfect. That blind goblin standing in front of you, you leap forward, but you still have barrier up.
Mhm.
So you go roar, and it goes boing and bounces onto its butt on further back on the street, but you just can't quite. No matter what you do, you just can't quite reach him because barrier's still up.
And you're hearing a very little Tinkerbell like laugh in your ear. He thinks it's hilarious.
So I'm sounding over the now prone goblin, and I'm fussing and mauling and roaring at it.
Squishing him into the ground with the barrier is about the best you can do. All right, Faith. What do you do?
Oh shoot, that's me.
That's you. I was waiting.
ADHD, y'all. It's really fun to have.
It's real.
Right?
I once forgot I was putting on a belt while I was putting on the belt. So
Yeah. So kids are safe,
yep,
and this guy's already missed me once.
yeah. He whiffed.
Yeah.
you just know it went. Oh. As it looked, because in my you're up one step, right? Because most buildings were built one step above the ground, so they drain nicely. It just looks up at your eyes. You're standing at the top of the stairs, all fierce and dark. What do you do?
Yeah. The
I love this laugh.
Do I possibly have like a
yes.
bow and
Yes.
arrow?
Before you
'cause
even say it, yes.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna start like backing away,
Yeah.
notching, and letting one fly.
So sort of mother birding it down the hall,
You
down the
can-
alley,
Yeah.
trying to lead them
You
away.
can,
Yeah.
you can also have daggers
Yeah.
since you're a thief.
I like the
And
short.
throw it.
Yeah. So you step away and thunk thunk. So give me a fighting.
Okay. That is 2 white.
2 whites. Wow. You just draw up and you just it's like there's a mark on it, right? You know exactly where to shoot. It's just thunk and it's just bang, dead center, knocks it off its feet. You see it slide down the alley, dead as dead gets.
Yeah. I'm just gonna knock on the door, tell the kids to stay there until it's safe,
Yeah.
and I don't know where they're headed.
Nope.
So-
What I'll give you then is you hear a major ruckus towards the center of town from where you are.
Okay.
So run to the sound of the guns.
Yeah.
That's your plan. Yeah. Even though you're a
Yep.
thief, it's like, this is my town. Get out of my town. So yeah,
I'm the only one who's allowed to steal here, not
That's
you.
right. When you look in the window at the kids, there's the one kid who's somehow made himself a wooden sword and has got a pot in his head and is standing guard by the door. So you know they're in good hands. And you take off towards the center of town. Perfect. Vicky. Goblin in the door. Potions
I told you
galore.
that.
What do you do?
I told
You run to
that
the
we
clerk.
can-
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, clerk.
Okay. So you skid over behind the counter. Where's the wand of
Wand.
confusing mists?
And please
yeah.
tell me, and I will say with spelling.
You give me a I'll do it. Charisma roll. And what is your charisma on your character? Is it a
5.
It's a 5. Yeah. So 1 white and 1 black. So yeah. They say they look at you. And they pull a box out from behind the till, and it's a big long wooden box like this, and they kind of hand it to you, like they're a little bit afraid of it. And they lean in and mutter and say, "Do you want this store? 'Cause I'm leaving." And they turn around and start climbing out the window. You just see their sort of feet and their butt trying to get out the window.
Vicky will just sigh like, eh, with who I'm working, and then she will use one on these goblins
So
who would storm store.
Yep.
So they would be confused.
So you open up the box with the wand in it, and when you look at it, it's kind of hard to tell where it is. It looks like it kind of, but when you grab it, it makes it sort of real. And as you look up, that one in the door is still standing there. So it's the only one you can see right now. Is that the one you hit?
Yeah, because you thought that they come to store. So
Yep.
I want confused him.
Absolutely. So you do a magic roll, right? Does that make sense? Creator of the game, do
Yes.
a magic roll to use the wand. White and a black. So I think I know how this works. You and you hit it. You're using it for the first time. You tell me, what does a confusion wand look like when it gets shot off?
It's only like uh, yellow lighting, and then this person is like lost, confused.
Yep.
He don't know where he is.
Perfect. So you hit them with the yellow light, they kind of develop a yellow aura, and in this case, this one kind of turns around and sits down on the step and starts playing with rocks. So it's just sitting in the door playing with rocks in the street. You can see its back. It's
And also
completely
he
forgotten
have,
what it's doing.
and
It's
he
just
also,
yeah.
and he also have eyes like if he's hypnotized.
Yep. So yeah, when they cut around the front, the eyes are going doodly 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 doodly. Maybe even some birdies going around.
No, only
No,
eyes.
too classic. Yeah. Just the glazed over eyes. Yeah. And then what do?
And
You can yeah.
and because he's confused, I'm going out of store to center of town.
Perfect. So you sort of step past him, and he's kind of like you stepped on his rocks, and then he goes back to playing with his rocks. Because the way that spell works in this game is somebody's going to have to shake him out of it. Otherwise, he's
And
just
now
going
we
to sit there
go,
and play with rocks.
and now we go to Hikaru to
Yep.
heal him.
Right. Okay. So, oh, perfect. You step out of this on the street. You look around. Your prince is trying to get up off the ground. There's goblins everywhere. So you head towards the prince, and that's where we'll leave you. The other fives. Hikaru, we can kind of skip you until last. I'm going to delay you till last, and we already did bear, right? So yeah, it is Hikaru. Yeah. You're wobbling around Hikaru trying to get up, these goblins running past you every which way, and then there's somebody sort of looming out of the gloom that isn't a goblin. It's Vicky, you recognize them, you would at least know the people in this town, and they're running towards you with getting a potion out. What do you do?
Hurry up, doggone it. I'm stuck down here. I need help.
Vicky will say, be nice, or I won't help you.
And at that moment, the goblins continue to attack. Bear and Maple, they're goblins. They're not smart, but they're smart enough to know that this has to wear off. So they're kind of starting to build up in a circle around you. There's now 4 of these supersized goblins just kind of lurking around, waiting for the spell to wear off. Because they're not that stupid. But that takes up a whole bunch of them. So that's the 2 of you. Hikaru and Vicky, the 2 of you, as you reach forward with the potion to hand it to Hikaru, one of the you look up and you see a goblin running towards you. They've gone completely mental. They've got one maul or one stick with a spike in it in each hand, and they're looking at both of you. We'll get this is still them trying to get to you. They didn't get to you this turn, but they're coming. And then Faith, you were heading towards the middle of town too, right? So you step forward, you see all of that in front of you, and then you hear behind you the sound of pip, 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 pip. Feet. In case that wasn't clear.
Yeah, whoever it is behind me is getting shot.
Give me a.
Because I don't know.
Yes.
It could be one of those giant bears. Like,
Yep.
they're not bears.
You spin around. Give me an intelligence check.
Oh.
Oh. Well, I get the Deus Ex Machina here. You spin around. It's beautiful. It's a work of art. It should be in movies. You can see the rapid high speed movement lines as you come around and draw the arrow at the same time. You let it go, and kid, it's the little boy who was inside. Deus Ex Machina. It sticks into his little wooden sword right here. And he kind of drops the sword.
Go hide.
I'm going to go back to the house.
Yeah.
And he turns around and goes back to the house, and there's a little puddle of pee where he was standing, and a broken sword with an arrow stuck through it.
Yep.
And I'm going to leave you standing stunned at your own actions at the end of that hut. Hikaru. Oh no, sorry. We're back to the. That's the end. We're back to the top of the order. I should keep better track of this. So Faith this time because you guys are alternating.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, Faith.
Yeah.
I like
okay.
that. Right
so,
after that, just
Okay. Great. Yeah. Just that happened. Oh, there's a goblin.
Yeah, twang. So fire again. Use your fighting. Fight. Yeah, because you're capable of fighting. Yeah,
Too black.
you're so freaked out by that you kind of do at the last second you do the ding, and it kind of just launches off into the night.
Yeah.
At least that didn't hit anybody, unless maybe it hit a tree out there somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're not helping, Faith. Maybe, but this is perfect. This is the thing you redeem yourself from, right? This is the moment that the redemption starts. Maple and the Bear, which sounds like a movie in the 80s. I like this because this works too really well because Maple gets to technically go first, and then Bear gets to react. So Maple, what's the plan?
Okay.
There's
since we are
4
now
big gobbies. Yep.
Surrounded by 4 big gobbies. One
Yep.
guy is blind for a minute.
Yep.
I'm going to turn to the one to my left, and he is going to be petrified or paralyzed. Sorry, paralyzed.
we talked about the word for a while, but yeah, it counts. It covers any of those things, right? So if you want to turn them into rocks, we can turn them into rocks. Because I was petrified.
I am going to turn him into twigs in a tree kind of thing.
Oh,
I'm gonna
like
turn to wood.
like a wicker goblin instead of a wicker man, sort of like yeah. Okay.
He's going,
Absolutely. For that is
Yeah.
going to require a roll because you have the magic power to do it. You're at a 7. That's easy. But how does it go? Give us 2. Oh, 1 and 1. Okay.
1 and 1. Yeah.
So it works. You turn them in. We'll just go with that's a basic. So again, every time you do one of these, I hope you guys are keeping your experience points. 5 points every time you roll a black and a white. 10 points every time you roll 2 whites. And tell me when you get to 50.
Spells.
Yeah, and spells. Yeah. Yeah. So give me so yes. All that happens then is you succeed. One of them is now kind of looks down at his feet, and gets kind of replaced from the ground up by a wooden shrub in the shape of him.
Yeah.
And it and clicks. So that's one of them. That's definitely. I mean, like I said, nobody's gonna be able to fix it. It takes magic to fix magic in this, basically.
Yeah.
So one of them is blind for another bunch of time, and there's now only 2 surrounding the outside of the thing. Bear.
Well, I'm still going after that one who was coveting my berries. I'm
Okay.
not
Oh,
just.
so you-
Rawr.
just-
So
yeah.
he's prone and blinded, and
Yeah.
hopefully I don't roll 2.
Oh yes, I love this because again, you're still having to use you're having to
Yeah,
use the
one
barrier.
right.
There you go. But you're having to use the barrier to do it, right? So you kind of get him under you and then jump on the barrier, and the barrier squishes
Bounce,
him down.
bounce,
Yeah,
bounce,
like a
bounce.
ball, like a bear in a ball. It's a doing, and yeah, every time you hit, they're doing the getting driven deeper and deeper into the mud. Yeah, it's by the time you quit bouncing, you are 100% sure that particular goblin is not going to have any interest in all in your berries or anything else to do with breathing.
So there.
It is an ex-bear.
And
Or an
bear
ex-
shall sit on it.
Just plucked a big old bear butt on him inside the bubble with a fairy inside, casting magic at everything that moves. Beautiful.
Bear is very satisfied, yes.
All right. Let's go to
Vicky.
Vicky and Hikaru because you go at the same time anyway. You're together. You kind of have a choice. One, there's a goblin coming, or you can do the sort of potions thing.
I
So
would
what's the
use
plan?
Word of Confusion on Goblin
Okay.
because Hikaru is not nice to me.
Yep. Leave him on the ground. It took me a second for that to sink in. It's like, oh, rude to me. Well, I'm gonna get rid of that, and you we'll get a I just see how
Here,
that works.
and what
Yep.
colors
A
do
white,
you have
a
dice?
white and a, I just rolled it. It's a white and a black. So I can see you sort of looking down at Hikaru. You take your hand off the potion. You grab the wand, zort the goblin that's coming towards you, and just keep looking at Hikaru. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. Hikaru, how do you respond to that?
And you said that, what was it? The magic has to be 5 and above to use magic, right?
Yep. So you can magic.
Magic.
Almost
Okay.
everybody can. There's only a few of the default characters that can't. So,
Bear, for
yeah.
example.
Like bear.
like bear or thief.
Or a thief.
Yeah. Or alchemist. No, inventor.
Inventor can't either.
But Prince can.
Prince can definitely try and hit a goblin.
Character Nern, formerly known as Prince. I've been holding it in for over an hour. I can't help myself. It finally spewed forward. Hikaru, what do you do?
Hikaru's gonna use his fire.
Okay. So give me a roll. And what are you're shooting at the one that's confused?
Yeah, and I totally
And you
missed.
missed. I love this, and I'm now glad that I forgot to describe the description. So I'm gonna put this all together into one. Vicky, you look down at Hikaru, you stun them. The one standing in the middle of the street gets hit, and it starts playing hopscotch on a hopscotch thing that only it can see, and it's not doing very well. It keeps it's trying to play hopscotch, but it's doing really really badly. And then Hikaru, still wobbling around, and fires a small fireball down the alley past the creature and spinning off of a wall into the distance. And that brings us to the minions. Hikaru and Vicky, another one starts to close towards you. Bear and Fairy, there's still two around you. They're going to try. I mean, let's see if they. Okay. So, yeah, one of them hasn't seen, runs forward and boing off the barrier. The other one doesn't even get that close with their attack. They run up and actually thunk into the ground. Like they didn't even get to the barrier. They rolled two blacks. So they didn't even get to the barrier and just stuck it into the dirt. So now you've got another one with the baseball hands going on and one stuck in the dirt in front of you. It's all but over for these two.
He looks like a berry coveter.
Berry eating goblin bastard. But because this is the end of the round, I'm going to say all the other minions at this point.
Bear has my eye on that one.
Yeah, all the others leave. That's 2 rounds, so you got one more round of barrier left. And the other minion.
That should have been it.
Or this was it. Oh, perfect.
This was
So
it.
yeah, Bear starts looking around, and then down comes the barrier.
And
Me
out
not.
comes the claw.
So,
I'm curious.
yeah.
I'm curious if those two confused goblins will stay because they're confused.
Yeah, in my head, they are still, one of them's still playing with rocks, and the other one's still doing hopscotch. Because I remember when we were getting this done, I think this is one of the magics that requires it would only require somebody to shake them out of it rather than having to
Yeah.
magic them, right? But nobody has. So goblins aren't that altruistic. They're just gonna leave them. But yeah, there's currently in the middle of all this fracas, and they're starting to retreat now. But this town has been attacked by goblins, right? And as they start to pull back, you're starting to see this mess that they're leaving behind. But this will probably be our final round of this combat. So Faith, you've got one No, you're sorry. You're looking out into the fair. There's two of them around Bear and Maple. I'm going to presume you guys know Bear and Maple. I mean, if Bear and Maple were eating your berries, you'd know
Yeah.
them, right?
I feel like Vicky will know
Yeah.
because she's witch.
Oh yeah, you're a witch. Faith is a sneaky bugger, so you've been out at night and seen what they do when they're
Vicky
in
has
town.
absolutely brought them like berries in the past.
Oh yeah, yeah. So there's two of the. Oh, sorry. There's only one of them left around them. And Bears looks like he's about ready to have lunch, or like they are about ready to have lunch.
Yeah, so the other one I'm gonna take care of.
Okay, so you get control of your emotions after
Yep.
your near miss. Give us a roll.
Breath.
Two weights. Come on. Black
Yeah,
and white. That
one
works.
white, one
One
white.
white
Yeah.
though.
So I like this. So you draw down on them, and it's kind of like buck fever. You can't quite make yourself, and then it's like you remember your master's training. What sentence in your master's voice do you hear at this moment that calms you?
Just breathe.
Perfect.
Twang. And it's like the sweet spot for anybody that's played baseball. It's just like you don't even feel the contact. It's just gone. And yeah, this last one turns towards Bear and puts on a false show of bravado only to be taken out of the picture by just thunk and gone by the arrow in the side. And they crash into the street. Maple and the Bear. That leaves the two of you unopposed except for the blind one.
Don't we still have the one down on the ground next to me?
We have the one who missed us and the one who hit but has the jiggly fingers. We have two.
I think Faith just shot one of those though, right?
And
Yes.
Faith just took-
So
we-
yeah, you're down to
yeah, we're down to one.
yeah, and I think
Yeah,
it's only
and
the
that's
blind
the one that
that's left.
missed us. Yeah, that's the one that missed us.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
sorry.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the one that's stuck in, she took
that
out.
looks
so,
like
yeah.
looks like they might be a berry coveter. Right.
Yes, very coveted, definitely, absolutely. You can smell it on them. You can smell the berries on them. You say
Oh!
from the middle of the berry patch you're fighting in, you can smell the
Grr.
berries on them.
Oh.
So,
You can just feel the tension building up in the bear under you.
Maple,
Yeah.
technically, you get to go first.
I know. She's going to simply go sleep so that he stops and drops it so that he can rip them all.
Okay, give me a roll for that because you're forcing somebody to do something.
Yeah. Oh,
Nope.
Oh no, two blacks.
Nope.
I
Oh,
failed.
Maple, you go sleep, but Bear's ear knocks your finger right at the end because they're sniffing they're hearing berry coveters everywhere, and your finger goes whoop, and just at the last second you go oh, and you sleep yourself and you fall back and slide down the fur of Bear's neck.
Bear pushes you back up.
Yeah, and now you're sprawled on the top of Bear.
Like a hat that's sliding down. Bear shoves you back up. Gotta keep my fairy on here.
Perfect. So, Bear balancing a fairy on your head.
Arr.
Smash. Bear smash. Give me fight. Yep.
One right.
It's just biff. It's you don't
What
destroy
about
this one.
colors?
Sorry?
I'm asking
Oh, sorry.
for
One white,
colors.
one black. My mistake. Thank you for bringing that up. I have to keep remembering to do that. One white and one black. So you sort of swat it. It's turning to run, and you sort of swat it onto behind. But you're a bear, so it leaves marks when you swat people onto behind. But they go limping, still alive, but limping off into the forest.
My
Making a very
fairy.
yes, bang out of your berry
Nope,
patch.
and my fairy.
And your fairy.
Still up there, right? Okay.
Yeah. And as you sort of shake your fairy wakes up. Oh, hey, where are we?
Stay put.
He grabbed the ear. All right, which leaves us with Vicky and Hikaru. There's the confused goblin over here. For the most part, the rest of the town has settled down. What do you do, Vicky? I want to know how you. Yeah.
I
Now.
would just leave bottle to Hikaru and go away from Hikaru.
Just hand the man the bottle and walk away. I love it. Hikaru? I know we got another redemption arc building here, but yeah.
Potion.
Yeah.
Myself nothing, right?
Okay, yeah. Potions in this game heal all damage, so you're back up to your full one. And with that, the last of the zombies flee town.
Zombies?
Zombies?
Goblins?
Goblins? I'll fix it in post. Goblins? The last of the goblins leave town. I won't, but it's yeah. The last of these super goblins running out of town. They are fleeing headlong into the darkness.
Only stay those confused.
Yes, except for the two that are yes. One of them's playing with rock. You're absolutely right. Thank you. One of them
Bear
is.
wanders over. Bear wanders over to play rocks with them.
Yeah.
And the other one's playing hopscotch.
Kind of ambles over. Yeah.
And you got one that got turned into a bush.
Yes, then there's a new shrub in town.
It doesn't even. It's not even berry bearing.
Nope.
Nope. Sorry.
So with that, Hikaru, you start to feel better. You kind of come back to yourself. You stand back up and start dusting yourself off. To see your dad, the local king, standing at the sort of entrance to the village with a bunch of his guards, standing, kingly-ish. And he strides over to you and sort of treats you as though you're much younger than you are, and sort of scoops you up by putting his fingers in your armpit and sort of not leaving you much choice in the option but to go with him. He's a very big, strong man, right? Mm. And he takes you a couple steps down a nearby alley and looks around, mutters some words, and this sort of shimmery field forms around the two of you. And he says, "Son, that was not your best work."
Oh. I tried. But they weren't helpful to me at all.
Do you know why?
Because they're idiots.
Because you weren't helpful to them.
I also think fun would be if still tomatoes are left.
Thank you. That's going to happen in about a minute at the end of this conversation. But yeah, remind me if I forget. But yes, at the moment I want to keep it serious.
Why should we help them? I mean, I can understand helping our guards, but really?
And he leans in and you realize how much bigger, like a fully adult king is than you are. Like there's a lot of presence sort of right here all of a sudden. You feel the power that he uses to get people to do things. And he leans down to you and he says, "Because if we don't, we end up on our ass in the village square looking like we're trying to invent a new dance."
He's not helping the I am. Sorry, that was just too funny. Fine, whatever.
No, not whatever. You're going to make up for it, and you're going to make up for it right now. You're going to take those fine people that just saved this village, and you're going to find out where the hell these things came from. You will not, I repeat, you will not engage the enemy. You saw how that worked out a minute ago. You will follow the trail. You will find out where they go. You will find out who sent them, and you will report back, and you will take those people with you.
I gotta. I wanted to go to the spa today.
He leans in again and gives you the look, and he says, "I will burn down your spa if you do not do this. If I have to make this an order and you don't do it, I can, what's the word, banish you."
Oh no.
How dare you?
I dare.
Wait till Mom hears about this.
You hear behind you, turn and look, and your mother is just standing there
Mother,
like
mother
this.
should, mother should not leave since it's distant.
Oh no! Oh, thank you. In retrospect, Vicky, you hear, you turn, a tomato hits your face. You look up, and then your mother is standing there like this. You just got tomatoed by your mom.
Hmm. Yeah, it's tomato day, apparently.
The, the king, majesty, where I should go with him. I don't have any reward
Oh,
for this.
yep. You're gonna have to. Hikaru's about to gonna have to convince you because your dad looks down at you and says, "Make this right. Earn their respect." And the shield shimmers down, and he walks over to your mother and he holds out an arm, and she laces her arm through his, and they walk off in a completely dignified fashion into the distance towards your little wooden castle.
Slew of un-Disney-like curse words will probably be thrown. But
Do the rassin frassin frickin' frackin' racker
yeah, well, that we'll just say that. Yeah.
or
But
actually it wouldn't you open your mouth and start to swear, but all we hear is
yeah,
a
that
rooster crowing because it's now dawn. We see you in the background. The rooster just until you're done, and then it stops.
and then he lifts the rooster and says, "Bugger off."
Down the
Goes
fence. Like a
try to find everybody.
Yep. So you step out into the square. These four are in front of you. What do you say to win over these people?
We've been sent on a mission from a higher being other than me. We need to find out where those guys came from and report back. We're not allowed to attack.
Vicky will say, I don't care. I have a shop to work.
They broke your shop. It's gonna take some time to fix it. They'll come with me, and by the time we get back, it should be fixed.
I will consider, but I will, Vicky will be still not sure.
Hikaru, you have the power. I'm just going to interject briefly here. You have the power to use royal servants to help rebuild that shop and other shops.
I was about
Okay.
to do that actually.
In that case, I'll shut up and let you do it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna basically call his, I guess you can say, right hand person.
Yep.
We'll leave out gender here.
His valet, yeah, valet,
Right-hand
depending on where you're from.
And tell him that and tell them that he's gonna gather as many of his loyal guards as possible and loyal staff to him.
Yeah.
He's gonna pay the staff extra to do these tasks, to rebuild the city.
Yeah.
He's gonna pay this, everybody who helps rebuild the city, they're gonna get an extra bonus on their paycheck.
Okay.
And the citizens in the meantime can stay in his own little personal castle.
Wow.
They have comfort and can relax while these guys are away on their journey.
You as you finished oh, go ahead.
He's building an orphanage too.
And we're gonna build an orphanage.
Why not?
As you say that, the your valet in front of you kind of shimmers in a magical way, and it's your dad standing there in a valet outfit, and he kind of leans in and says, "You might have gone a little far on that last one, but the rest of it, top drawer, top drawer."
I
And
wanted,
then he says, "I'll
I-
tell the king immediately." And he goes back into
I
his.
wanted, I wanted whatever we have bear.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna get to that because Vicky, when you see Hikaru order the town to be rebuilt using royal resources, do you reconsider helping them on the mission?
Yeah, but I would be like, still not sure if I don't see others join.
Okay, so you want orders from the king?
Yeah.
Hikaru? Sorry, I'm rushing things along here. I just looked down. We're already almost 90 minutes in. We haven't got out of town yet. I love this game and I love this story, but it's going a little slower than I thought. So just to get us moving, Hikaru, Vicky asks for royal favor.
Which is
Vicky, what
How
was
it in future?
Yeah, are you going to keep doing this? Basically, are you going to keep supporting this town like this, or is this a one-shot deal?
let's see what
Oh no,
happens.
you wanted King's permission. That was what it was, or King's orders, right?
It is the king's orders.
So yeah, so you can get that. So yeah, you call your I like this. So yeah, Vicky, you ask for orders. Hikaru, you turn to find your valet. Your dad valet comes up to you and hands you an order that he's just signing as the king, but he's still dressed as the valet. He hands
Right.
it to you to hand to Vicky.
Which I do, and
Okay.
then I'll hand it to the others as well. You know, there's the one for everybody. Whee!
And it says on it, with the greatest of respect, and acknowledging that I have no one else at my disposal with your skills and talents, I hereby request and do not order that you choose to travel with my child, to protect my child, and to get my child home safely on this adventure.
But bear can't read. So I'm curious about this.
Oh, Maple can read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Bear's order's all slobbery now because I've been chewing on it.
Tastes like berries because in my mind you're still sitting in the berry patch covered in berries.
Like, yeah, this one's stringy. Toss it
Yeah.
aside.
So I think that's a yes from Vicky. Let's go to Maple and the bear.
Okay.
What are your reactions to all of that?
Maple reads the decree from the king and she's just like, I wonder if I can get what kind of mischief we can get in going on a little trek and how many berry bushes we can get from the king.
As you say, berry bushes, the bear's orders kind of, which are very chew resistant, fall out of bear's mouth, and kind of falls open. And unlike the rest of yours, bear's says, "You can eat all the berries all the time, forever and ever. Thank you, the king."
And it shows them where Bear's special little plot is.
Oh, the king's own berries are at bear's disposal. Ooh.
And bear roars, which the fairy knows means I'm in.
Yeah. It's like, and I look down at the bear and I say, we're in.
Yeah. Faith. This should be interesting.
I wanted with Faith because she could have noted by King.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I just went with that, so it'll work for now. It got him to sign the documents. That's all, or not sign, but agree. But this should be interesting. Faith, how do you respond to? It's not an order. It was very specifically a request.
Yeah.
Is it still my town, my victims, or what's the deal?
This is my town.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take care of them as I need to, especially the kids.
They're all lined up in the windows looking out.
But yeah, so Faith will agree to go as long as when we get back, there's a space safe for the kids.
Hence the orphanage.
The orphanage.
I was
Yep.
gonna say, gotta
I'm
hold them to
good.
that orphanage.
I'm
Yeah, holding them to
curious.
that orphanage.
And as you say that,
I'm
their little
curious.
heads go down. Like,
I'm
yeah.
curious because Fate as Thief probably have wanted posters in town. So I'm curious how King would order her safe town when she
This
is
is
wanted.
this is a very practical king. And seeing as how you mentioned this, Faith, you may be starting to wonder the same thing, Faith. Like, I have to come out of an alley for this to work. They've seen me already.
Yeah.
A couple of royal minions come running out from the castle area and start ripping down all the wanted posters of you
Mm-hmm.
and rolling them up and taking them away.
Okay.
So thank you, Janet, because there's the bait we needed for Faith, right? You're no longer wanted on top of everything else.
Yep.
Well, we want her, but
Yeah,
Aw,
you're no longer wanted by the authorities.
yeah.
you feed me berries. Of course I want you.
You got a pardon. So, is that enough?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Faith will do it.
Pardon,
more for the
pardon in an
kids.
orphanage, and you're good to go.
Yep.
Perfect.
I wish that when we start going to forest, we have song like Buddy about adventure.
Yep, it is absolutely time for another song about a buddy. Oh, one of those, again, sort of naive buddy adventure songs like, oh, we're going to have so much fun, and we're not going to mention the part where everybody gets an arm ripped off, and that. Yeah.
Yes,
And with
yes,
the perfectly timed roar in the chorus.
Like the canon in
Yes,
the overture.
yes,
Mhm.
and we will have song like it's start of adventure. So it's time to get moving. Like in movie Brother Bear, they sang
Yeah.
and they cackling.
Oh yes, it's a great way to start a long journey is a good song. So
And I see in my head that he can be disgusted when everybody sing and he not.
Disgusted. He's just like, why? In his head, he's not going to say anything. Uh, Once in a while, you know how they have some characters who quip in with negative connotations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, why am I here?
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Like the
Oh, I
like
love
the
it.
photo bomb of the song, right?
Mhm.
We're on a great adventure. I want to go home. We're on a great adventure. I miss my couch.
I should be at the spa.
And I also imagine scenes during this journey that Maple will use pixie dust and dance with Beth.
That's right. You do have pixie dust. We forgot to mention that. It does a thing that I'm trying to remember. Here it is.
I
Makes
Levitate.
people or creatures or
Levitate.
things levitate. I forgot all about that. Thank you.
Oh yes.
So I'm sure you didn't, but I did. Okay, so
I
with the
totally have my
song-
goggles on for the flying bear.
Yep, yep. And then somehow, yeah, you got a goggle and
Maple
and
gave me a heads up on that one.
and,
so.
and a scarf because you're a pilot now. Yeah.
Oh yes, the goggles and the scarf and
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Maple's wearing a little
And-
World War
yeah.
One fighter pilot helmet. Yeah.
Yep, and my little fairy in my head. Yep.
Oh, I love this combination of cute and nasty because you guys just beat the steaming howl. I can't swear. I can't. The steaming howling poop out of a bunch of goblins tonight. And yet we're still being cute at the same time. So I love this system.
That's
But with that, song in heart, the sun rising over the horizon, you march off, following the obvious path of goblin footy prints back up the valley and into the darkness,
And while singing,
while singing the whole way. At one point, who's in front? I never get to ask about marching order anymore. It never matters, but this time it does. Who's in front? And not in a bad way, so don't be afraid.
I'm ambling off
Oh,
after. I was
bear.
told I
Yep.
get berries. I'm ambling off after those, and I've got my nose going, and it's
Yeah,
like,
nose
okay,
go
goblins,
the
those
prehensile
berry
lips.
coveting goblins,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah, the
I'm
berry
going-
lips. Yeah.
I'm going after Bear
Okay, so
because
you're
I
right
feel
behind
like
Bear. Yeah.
because I feel like Fate was still trying to work in shadows of trees.
Yep, that's fair.
And Prince kinda last because he don't like it.
So, Bear and Fairy, you feel it first. Bear, you got 4 legs in the water, or in the on the ground. Maybe that's it. You feel the ground, and you hear, all of you hear in the distance, a deep vibration, just a, and then another one way over there, and another one way over there.
Grr, you getting this? Harry, are you getting this? Grr.
But after a couple of seconds, you can all feel it. But it was it was coming from in front of you. You're heading towards it.
That's some serious berry coveting.
Yeah, I would like to think actually Hikaru's on his steed in the back then.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. You could be riding as well. Faith and Vicky. In fact, yeah. Let's put you all on horses. I like that, except for Bear and Maple, because you guys are. But yeah, Hikaru, you've got I'm presuming a big princely horse with a very narrow face.
I'm thinking like that horse from Tangled.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Max.
Yeah.
with the very expressive ears.
Yes. Faith, what horse did you steal? Because I'm presuming Faith does not have a horse.
No, Faith does not have a horse,
So
and not steal as much as borrowed. It's
requisition.
getting put
You're on a mission.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's getting put back after. Maybe. I don't like it.
Or one very similar to it.
And yeah, I'm just gonna do it. It's gonna be one of the black horses of the town.
Yeah. So yeah, this miserable sort of nasty cat. Yeah, Vicky, what are you riding?
And mine would be kinda magical.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I
Maybe
like that. Yeah,
unicorn.
just sort of.
Maybe unicorn.
Yep. Yeah. You summon it, and yeah, let's do that. Oh, because you have animal eyes, so you could turn something into an animal, and technically a unicorn's an animal. So yeah, you have a ride. So yeah, let's paint this picture. At the front of the line, there is Bear and Fairy, prepared for war, ready at all costs to take on the berry devourers of the world. Immediately behind that is Vicky on their sort of semi-corporeal unicorn. Behind that, Faith on a stolen black horse that's bitter about everything. And in the back, Hikaru on your proud royal stallion.
But my return at midnight to back where it was.
Yes, yeah, perfect. Luckily, it's still morning, so you hear these noises in the distance. It seems like they're kind of on both sides of you, up in the hills of this valley.
I will stop my unicorn.
Mm-hmm. Let's have
And look around.
Yeah. Let's have an intelligence roll from everybody with an intelligence over 2. Sorry, Bear.
Grr. What do I want to make an intelligence roll for? I'm a bear.
Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh, 2 white.
Alright,
Solder.
1-1.
Oh, this is perfect.
What I get?
You got. Oh, everybody rolled 1 black and 1 white except for Solar, who rolled 2 whites. So everybody gets 5 more
Prince
points.
leading us off. Yes.
Yeah. Are we at 50 yet? Anybody? Or close to it?
I don't know. I hope
You're. I
contact
asked
me.
because you're at 35 now, Vicky.
I'm at 10.
25.
You gotta be more
20.
than that. It's 10 every time, 5 every time you roll a black and a white.
I've gotten 2 black and whites and nothing else. And some
Holy
other roll
smokes.
black.
Okay, wow.
What? I'm a bear. What do
You're
you
a
want?
bear. Okay, all right. Fair enough.
I'm only at 30, so
30. Okay, that makes sense. Now I got a good idea where everybody is. So, the Hikaru, you realize the rest of you can
I
sort of.
feel I
Yeah.
feel that next time I will want a roll for statuses too. Like
For.
barrier, blind.
Yeah, 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 we can do that. Yeah, the roll to see if they can be overcome, or. Yeah. We'll make a note. We'll get it. But for now, the rest of you figure out that you're being watched from the ridge lines. But only Hikaru realizes that they're not actually planning on attacking. You've seen them before. These are sort of a mountain gargoyle. They're literally gargoyles. They make noises when the enemy approaches. It's essentially like a guard dog that can't move. They're carved into the mountains on both sides of you, all along this valley. You're not sneaking up on anybody up this valley. Everybody else gets 5. Hikaru gets 10.
Why would we want to sneak up? I mean, I'm a charging bear.
You're just right up the path, right up the middle of the valley.
And we can think like with who I'm working.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hikaru, do you tell everybody?
No, because
No,
I
I
don't
was
want
asking
to
Hikaru if
roll.
they told you about the gargoyles first.
I would assume I pass it forward.
Yeah. Okay. They're
Uh,
gargoyles. They can't do anything to us.
I
They're
guess
just.
I pass it to our thief first, and then
Oh yeah,
there's
you can yell it without giving anything away. Okay. So now that you guys have the information, Vicky, how did you now that you know that? What do you say?
I think that why we can't just first go away from this place and don't fight. I feel like I ha- uh, I feel like we had ordered to not fight a long journey, and also I feel like even more dangers go ahead us. Wait.
Fair point. How do the others respond to that? I guess the question is, have you found where they came from yet? I mean, up this valley is an answer, but is it enough of an answer for Hikaru's dad, the local king?
Do I smell them?
You give me a diligence? Yeah, you're a bear. You're very diligent at sniffing. Give us.
Nope, I don't. 2 blacks.
You do, however. I know what you smell. This is how.
Berries! Berries! And I'm off the trail and heading towards the berry bush.
Here's the thing.
I've forgotten all about those.
I'm gonna do a fail forward. You guys are deciding whether to move forward or not. Vicky makes a very valid point that you would be well within your rights to just turn around and go home and tell him. And at that point, Bear goes, berries, and heads headlong up the valley in the direction you were trying to decide whether you were going to go or not.
I knew I
So
smelled berries
now
on
the
those.
question is, are you
Oh.
going with Maple? You're on top. Let's start with you. Are you going with Bear?
yes, I'm
Just-
attached to
Just
Bear.
grabbing
Yes,
ears
that-
and
Oh, yeah.
Charging forward.
We got to do it in order then. Next in order would be Vicky. What is your response?
Are we thinking that it is good time to waste my bombs or not? And I will stay in one place.
So you stay here?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm making notes here.
What about fight?
Faith, stay or going? What's your choice? Or somewhere in between?
I mean, yeah, Vicky's saying that we should go back, but you know, bear just went down for berries, so let's go see what that's about.
So Faith is going with Bear and
Yep.
Maple. Okay. Hikaru bringing up the rear. Vicky's sitting on the side of the trail. Nope, not doing it. Everybody else is heading up the valley.
Hikaru's gonna say, "Come on, let's get going."
Oh, Hikaru
But-
tries
but
to
where-
talk.
But
Okay.
where go? To home or to this danger ahead?
I'm gonna do a weird thing that I don't normally do in a player interaction. I'm gonna ask Hikaru for, because I know you got a high charisma. I want to ask you for a charisma roll. I want to give the dice a chance here.
2 black.
Nope. So yeah, knowing that you try. I mean, you're just like you're trying to convince them, and it's not working. Hikaru, this is a moment for we're going to use this fail as a fail forward as well. This approach isn't working. Being Hikaru isn't working. It's not motivating Vicky to move. You have a moment in your head where you realize that you have to motivate them, not order them. So what do you offer Vicky to keep you? You made an offer to get them out here in the first place. What offer do you make to get them to continue? I love putting characters / players on the spot, especially when I know they can take it. I'm waiting for this. This would be a really interesting answer.
Why do you not want to go forward with everybody else?
Because I feel like it's waste of my resources. Because I feel like behind these goblins is bigger danger, and I feel like if now we waste time fighting with those creatures, we will have worse space to fight danger ahead. And also, I remember clear order to not fight and just come back.
Yes, I understand that, but they're not going to fight, I don't think. It didn't seem like Bear was after doing that.
Yeah, but I still don't have plenty of bombs and stuff, and we need those in future.
And at that exact moment, from way up the valley, past Bear and Maple, past Faith, way up the valley, you hear a sound. It's every giant animal screaming in rage all together. It's just "Wah!" And you see a gout of greenish yellow sickly light spew up into the sky and start to fall like a volcanic cloud, like a pyroclastic flow. And it drops back down and lights up the mountain top that it's on. And as it falls, it lights up the whole mountain below it like a volcano. And then, eclipsing part of that light, a set of wings, a long tail, a long neck, bank across that sickly green explosion. And you hear the voice, the sound again. Except this time it's almost a voice. And it's the screech of what is clearly a dragon. Time will tell! Time will tell! And it's swooping down the valley towards the Bear and Maple and Faith, who currently, because of terrain, cannot see it. Vicky and Hikaru, what do you do?
Can you see what I meant about future danger?
Nice line.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
And then, what do you do?
I
well,
will frozen this dragon
Oh, it's
because
still
he's.
way too far away to do that. It's at this point, it's chase after your friends or run away is basically your options.
So I would ask Hikaru, so what do we do? I feel like we need, for example, this magical sword and stuff, and I feel like this dragon is too big for us. Better come back, better prepare it.
Well,
Hikaru, yeah?
they are. We're kind of out of time on this one. We need to get to them and tell them we need to either have them hide so that we can all stay away from the dragon, or we need to be there to help. I
Hikaru, I'm going to interrupt real briefly because at this point in my head, your hand sort of just by force of habit drops to the hilt of your sword, the sword you never use. And you look down and you realize it's not just a sword, it's not just a princely sword. It's actually a sword very similar to the one that was to the one of the righteous sword, but this one is called the Sword of the Brave. And it has been rumored, and you weren't really listening, that only a person of true blood, of true bravery, only a person of true bravery can wield it to its full effect.
we gotta go help them. You can stay here if you want, but I'm gonna go out and help them.
What about gargoyles? We had them on us too, beside the dragon, and I feel like it's too much on your plate.
Remember, Hikaru told you the gargoyles can't come down. They're just like an alarm system. So it's only a dragon that you're fighting. Trust your GM.
I was like, in what I mixed, and I will go and prepare my wand.
Perfect. So Hikaru, you grab your sword and turn your horse and head up the valley after your friends. After a few seconds and a heavy sigh, Vicky follows along afterwards. And the five of you run headlong against the rules to your destiny. As you come
And
to
berries.
and berries.
Berries.
As you get to the top of the hill, Bear, the smell of berries is, I mean, it's there's a whole valley of like natural wild berries. You know, there's not as many per acre as there is in a garden, and they're smaller, but they're just like so bitter they make your eyes shrink. You know, this is the real thing. As you take the first two steps, you even through your berry-driven haze, you and Maple, and then Faith comes up beside you, and then Hikaru comes up beside them, and then Vicky comes up beside them. And in the valley of berries, swooping towards you is now that the scale is apparent, not a huge dragon, sort of a teenage dragon, coming screaming across the valley at you, breathing in and preparing to exhale one of those green clouds that you already saw. You have one thing each that you can do before we go. In order of I want to do it in order of speed though. So seven's first, right?
Yeah, but I want to say that I want to use Wand of Confusion on dragon.
Yeah, we'll get you in. And I already have to figure out how that's going to work, but that's okay. Faith, you're first.
I'm gonna do something stupid.
Good. It's my favorite kind of thing.
I'm using my gymnastics and jumping onto this dragon.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. So the dragon swoops down and does that thing down the road. And the trees are flapping in the wind of its passage, and its wings are just millimeters from the trees. And it comes towards you, and Faith starts to run towards it. and does like the person somersaulting over the car, except they just somersault over the head. And do you land it?
No!
No, 2
I
blacks.
got 2 blacks. Come on.
I know exactly the camera shot. The camera shot stays locked from the side on Faith while the dragon goes underneath, and Faith goes bloop, 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 down the back and down off the tail, and then piff in the dirt behind the dragon. 5s. Vic. Oh no, we still got a 7, right? The maple, yeah. So yeah.
I am going to try and curse the dragon
Okay.
to decrease its intelligence.
Oh, okay, absolutely. Give me a that's you have the magic to do that. Give me a that's you got a 7.
Oh, never
Oh no,
mind.
2 blacks.
It has
What
been
was the curse? What was the
4
curse?
rolls.
Going to do intelligence.
4 rolls of 2 blacks. I know how to
Oh.
say it.
Oh, and I get to see how the spell fails. It's the other ear this time. Bear hits your other ear, and your finger gets knocked down and points at Bear. And you try to take away 1 intelligence point from a thing that's only got 1 intelligence point. So the spell kind of bounces, and Bear, you have 2 intelligence for the duration of this fight.
Oh no. I don't know what 2 intelligence is going to do
But
for
the
me.
beast
I'm
is
not sure.
but the beast is completely unaffected. It failed. I love this. This is how you do a first round of a fight against a beast. So Bear, then Vicky, then Hikaru. That's kind of been our order. If that works for everybody. Okay,
Okay.
Bear.
The bear is charging forward because this dragon is going to muck up this environment for all the berries, and that just cannot be.
So
I'm going to go charging forward to maul the dragon.
I have a cheap sex self-actualization
I
and
don't
I
like
don't
it.
like it.
Yes,
So
exactly.
Bear denies logic and applies Bear and just headlong charge. You saw Faith blow this move, but Faith tried to get fancy and go over top. You were trying to hit a dragon that's filling a road. That should be easy. I want to give you an option. We're gonna take it's 2 whites
Two
is the
whites.
result. So we're gonna take this option. I'm gonna give you the option and then let you decide which one you want to do. Was this under fighting or was this under strength? Did you want to fight it or do you want to sort of wrestle it?
Wrestle it.
Wrestle. So let's use strength instead because your strength is also 7, right?
Yes.
So yeah, instead of trying to hurt it, instead of trying to claw it, you just try to like
Grab it.
squeeze the berries out of it, and you roll 2 white dice,
the
and you
berries.
just wrap around the throat right behind the head, and you're wrapped so tight that it like it's trying to pound you off on the ground, but it can't do it without hitting its own head. And so you've got it around the throat, and you've got it at the very least extremely distracted because it can't quite bite you anywhere. And I think this might be. I just want to pause for a second and say, Bear, what's it like being the little guy in a fight?
I'm just a bear, you know.
What are you talking about? I got a drink.
Well, no, I have an intelligence of 2 now.
Yes, yes,
Does it occur
That's right.
to
Yes,
me?
you have a think. Yes.
That's just weird.
That's
Okay.
don't like that. Go back to Scratching Dragons. Perfect. So you are kind of.
It's
Oh, I know what we can do. This stops the dragon's motion, and you got 2 success or like 2 whites. So stops the dragon's forward motion, and your extra weight pins it to the ground. It can't fly at the moment.
mine.
Mind the dragon. Wrestle, and that
I
succeeded.
want
Yes, now
confusion.
Janet, or sorry, Vicky. Yep, I got excited. I called you by your real name.
Confusion.
Confusion. So you.
Because I'm curious how we dragon react.
Yep. I think how I would do this. It's your game. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I would say only somebody with a magic of 7 or higher could cast confusion on a dragon. Does that make sense?
And I
You happen to have a 7 as that stat. So So you, one of the very few people in this town, one of the very few people in this whole province that could actually do this, pull out the spell, and you find out that spells are only a focus, right? They help you drive a spell forward that you may not already know, and you smash the spell forward. We saw it before. The yellow light goes out and hits the dragon, and you roll. I'm afraid you rolled.
no!
I'm afraid you rolled 2 blacks. So what I would like to do with that is the beam hits the bear.
Ah! Good. That confuses me.
Yes, you are
This
now.
pesky 2 intelligence. I mean,
there. That's beautiful. Yes, let's do it. It's a fail forward. So Vicky, you shoot as you hit the bear, and it's like, I just, oops, I have confused the bear. But then you see the bear smile because the bear, your intelligence is back down to 1.
yes.
We'll do that as the confusion, because you can only confuse an intelligence of 2 so much, right? And once you're an intelligence of 1, you don't get confused anymore. There is no confusion. There is only dragon, right? There's not even berry,
Rawr,
right?
and
There's not even
berries.
berry right now. There's just dragon. So yes. So does that work, Vicky? As a miss?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I like failing forward. It's the way this is working out is beautiful. So you're still wrapped around the neck. Back to Happy Land. That was Vicky. Wand failed. So just to be clear, that's 3 out of 4 so far have failed, have rolled 2 blacks on the first round of combat with the dragon. This is as Disney as it gets. Hikaru, my heroic prince, who is slowly learning the value of leadership. Over to you, Red Leader 1.
Okay, so what was going on with the dragon now?
It's pinned to the ground by your bear. Your fairy is nowhere to be seen, but giggling madly. Faith is over behind the dragon on the ground, picking herself up out of the dirt. And Vicky is standing in the middle of the road, waving a wand like it's broken.
Eh,
I'm gonna get up close enough on my steed, and I'm going to try and use some more fire.
Okay, the sword of righteous bravery at your hip beckons.
But as I go to try and cast fire, I decide, let's try and slay this. Sorry. My flickered for a minute, it threw me off. I'm going to try and slay the dragon instead then.
So you reach down and you pull out this. You haven't touched this sword since the day of your coronation as prince, right? Your job is walking around looking good, right? That until today, that was your job. As you draw out the sword, you realize the sheath that it's in, your fancy trousers, your very nice jacket, even your it's all dirty. Even your crown is a little bit askew. But nobody cares because they're just waiting for somebody to do something. Hikaru of Town, because I forgot what I don't think I ever named this place. So Hikaru of Town, are you at the moment brave?
I'm going to do a roll in the background here. You know me, I like my rolls.
Yep.
I am on the brave side, but closer to so-so.
I can see the result. You
It's 64 out of 100.
you hear. Oh, I did this earlier to somebody else, so that was not foreshadowing. You hear in your head your father's voice. What sentence do you hear that actually gets your feet to moving?
Probably the same things he was saying to me back in that alley.
Just that speech with that kingly power, and Hikaru, it occurs to you that someday that's got to be you. Somewhere between this afternoon standing around telling people to do whatever you were told to do and when your dad is no more, you need to learn how to be if not him, you need to learn the skills he knows. You need to bleed. And the sword gets lighter in your hand. And you remember that tomato your mother hit you with. Tomatoes are your favorite. So while she was telling you to wake the hell up, she was also telling you she loved you. And she thought you could do this because there's no way a mother would send their child off to do something this scary if they didn't think they were going to come back. And that sword gets a little bit lighter. And you stride past your friends, bear wrapped around the neck, fairy somewhere in the fur and the scales conniving their next plan. Faith coming up, bow in hand, Faith, I presume, sort of, yeah, in the background. What do you do, Hikaru? Vicky is blasting away with the wand. They're all trying their best and they're all failing. Sorry, and now I'll stop.
I'm going to think back to my training
Yep.
and remember the weak spot of the dragon. And try
Yep.
and aim to hit that weak spot to slay the dragon.
Bear at that moment rolls the dragon's neck and the legs kind of come up like this, and you can see its underbelly, and you can see the one missing scale.
And he's aim.
You charge in. Give me a. Oh, this is going to be funny. Give me a fighting. Actually, yours is a 5, right? Yeah. So yeah, you're all right.
Yeah,
So
it's black and white.
yeah, 1 black, 1 white. Okay. I love this. You run forward and boom, but you're just not really. Your training's perfect, but you're just not that strong. And the blade kind of goes and goes in a little bit. No matter how much you push, it just won't go. Vicky, you are right there. You look over at Hikaru. You this afternoon, 2 hours ago, you wouldn't give him a potion because he was being a dick. He's right now, right in front of you, trying with all his soul to kill this dragon. What do you do?
I will use my bomb so they will be open wide and
So
easier.
you reach up and slam the bomb against his sword, and then I'm just going to take a little bit of creative license here. Hikaru, you turn your back, like you hold the sword where it is, but you turn your back and wrap Vicky in front of you so that your armor takes most of the blast when the bomb goes off.
Right.
It drives you to the ground on top of Vicky. Bear, you roll away with the head and neck. You won. For a brief second, it seems to you like you tore the head off a dragon.
I gnaw on the head.
Yeah, no. Because it's a dragon, so it's still writhing.
Okay.
And after this explosion, Vicky will roll toward Hikaru and say, "Well, that's awkward." And she will look at Hikaru.
Fairy, you come crawling out from the muck and the dirt and the mess of a dragon neck and a bear's belly. What is your reaction to that?
I'm going to come out and just go and shake.
And then shake your wings.
Shaking. Everything's shaking and shaking. And I'm like,
Faith.
and then I'm going to like
Yeah.
split her up into the trees.
Yeah.
I also have in my head that someone will comment Vicky and Hikaru together that get a room or something.
Well, first we got Faith to deal with, because Faith, you did this magnificent. I mean, it was spectacular. The barrel rolled down a dragon. How many people can tell that story, right? You're already spinning it to your advantage. You're still a hero. You missed the whole fight. Doesn't matter. You're still the hero of this outfit, standing there pointing your arrow at a dead dragon. What do you do?
I'm gonna let one off.
Yeah.
So that I can say that I did it.
Thump sticks into the dead corpse of the dragon.
You helped.
Yay!
Yeah, exactly. I helped.
Yeah. And with that, you broke all the rules today. but you won.
Mhm.
And as you
Do not
unwrap yourselves,
attack.
yeah, when you pull yourselves away from the burning body of Maleficent, all of you back up and you see her burn. But as she burns, she doesn't turn to ash and disappear. She turns to like a ghost of a skeleton of a dragon. And as you watch, she lifts up off the ground and flies away. There's nothing you can do. It's just an image, but there's nothing left. But somehow the five of you know that this isn't over. And we end the movie by cutting back 20 years into the future. And those future people were the five of you standing in the center of that village, much bigger, much stronger, much more powerful, and much more likely to succeed in roles against the Maleficent that returns from the near dead. So you didn't just beat her once, you already beat her in the sequel. And with that, I would like.
I wanted
Yeah.
also what relationship have Vicky with Kikaru 20 years
Well, that's
later.
what I was gonna do right after I dropped that. As I was just about to say, I'm gonna start to roll the credits, and then I'm gonna ask people as we do the cutaways at the end, because there's always cutaway scenes at the end. What happens next? Let's start with Bear and Fairy, because I want to know, did anything significant change, or what do Bear and Fairy think of the after Maleficent events, post Maleficent era?
Berries?
Well, actually, you're getting splashed because I'm discovering there's fish in this stream.
Oh, okay. So fish and
We,
berries.
we have our own little hidden garden now.
Yep. Nice.
And,
Beautiful.
that's
near
what we're
town,
going
but hidden in the sense that everybody knows it's there, but they leave you guys alone because they know it's yours.
A
Yes.
beer
Yeah.
not should get also little couples, godless, because it's all there.
Yeah. Faith. The orphanage is built eventually, in a little while. All the promises were fulfilled because this is a Disney movie. Where does the future find Faith? Future find Faith?
Faith is taking on many proteges of teaching how to be sneaky and steal things and
She get a
The
little
University of
gang.
Sticky Fingers. Yeah.
She get a little gang.
Yeah. So what you're saying is you started your own crime wave.
yes,
Okay.
except they're all small children.
Yes, beautiful.
And sometimes a bear.
For that,
And
yes,
yes.
it's sometimes a bear. For Faith, that's a happy ending. I love it. Which leaves us to Vicky and Hikaru. The question, and you're right, Vicky, is very obvious. I'm going to ask Hikaru because I think I know where Vicky stands on this. Hikaru, do you see yourself having a Vicky in your future?
By my side, I don't know how close in the future that would just.
Oh yeah, this is a Disney movie. We're not going into the bed chambers or anything. We're just.
Yeah, I mean, definitely as somebody he would hire at the very least.
A good friends for now thing.
Good friends. Yeah.
Yeah. Vicky, you all right with that?
Yeah, because I have shop and a lot of work.
Yep, you got yours. You go back and yes. So yes. Now let's do the rewards. Bear and Maple, you guys were given free reign of all the gardens and access to the king's berries. You also get to keep the skull for gnawing. The skull of the dragon.
Nice skull.
Yes.
Nice.
it's on the cave wall. Yeah, Faith, you got
The
your
horns are used
orphanage.
I was gonna say the horns are used as back scratchers.
Oh, that's perfect. Oh, yes, definitely.
Vicky and Hikaru go on to co-rule, I guess, at some point, teaching each other about each other and both becoming better in the process. And in the end, even Faith figures out a way to turn
And
a
also
room
have
full of
shop.
of thieves into a good thing. And Vicky,
And I also
Good.
have
Thanks.
shop.
and your shop, yes,
Magic
I was
shop.
just I was gonna close on that because in the last scene, underneath the credits rolling, is Vicky standing in what is now her shop, and looking down. I imagine as the older Vicky, the one that's 20 years in the future, looking down and seeing the wand in the box, and that's what triggered the whole memory of the whole story that we just told here today.
Yes.
Yeah. That is where we'll actually drop the curtain after the credits. Whoo-wee. Oh, that was everything I hoped for and so much more. The passion that all of you have for Disney just carried me. It was like wings. It was just like every scene somebody was doing something that was so Disney. It was absolutely wonderful. So thank you all for joining in on this. It was an amazing experience. Thank you to Solar. Hikaru was the perfect prince. You did exactly the storyline, right? Just start off as an arrogant little turd and learn how to be a leader, right? It was beautiful. That was another great thing about this whole story thing is everybody got a story arc in. Faith, your arc was interesting. I liked it. It's like anarchy is the way, and I gave you power arc, and you went cool. Anarchy is the way, bigger. So Faith has learned that faith is all that faith can have faith in. I love it. Absolutely beautiful. Karis, I have seen you play some very serious characters, like very serious characters, and I've seen you play less than serious characters. But watching you play a bear was an absolute joy. Just the simplicity of and single-mindedness, and the overwhelming food
Being a bear.
motivation. Yeah, so good. Thank you so much for that. And your little friend Maple, who has 1,000 good ideas and no real control, was absolutely great. I love the idea. It kind of cost you a round, I think, but the idea of Maple being just squozed between Bear and the dragon's neck during the fight, just kind of going, let me out, let me out. It just kind of wrapped up my view of how Fairy's life is. It's like it's amazing, but it's occasionally crushingly dangerous. And I saved you for last again, Janet. You were somewhat concerned that people might not like this game. You were wrong. This is going to be me telling you you're wrong in the nicest possible way. People loved this game. You saw it. You can watch it again on the VOD. We had a great time tonight. Look at the smiling faces. Right? I don't have much more to say other than thank you so much for spending 7 years putting this game system together in your head. Thank you so much for asking me if I would help you get it on paper. I am honored to have done so. I couldn't be happier with how this turned out. I'm almost out of words. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope that you are proud of what you've done because it is a thing worthy of proudness.
Yeah. I'm proud. A little.
And you know what? Not, I was going to say I'll take that, but I won't take that. I will celebrate that. Thank you for being proud of an amazing job that was well done. Thank you so, so much. I had such a pleasure doing it tonight. Everybody, happy International Women's Day. And if you ever thought women didn't belong in gaming, take all of those and come and get me. I will fight you because tonight showed a lot of things. It showed that women can game. Obviously, that one didn't need any showing. It showed that it's a different game when you've got a predominance or a majority of women in it. It's more interesting to me because I'm not used to it still, right? Which is sad, but it's getting better. And the
And I'm
fine.
also glad that we are not like typical fake gamers, but real,
This whole channel's about being
genuine.
real and being yourself. Thank you. That's a perfect wrap for 2 hours and 25 minutes ago before we came on air. We were talking about this, the self confidence and the gaming for the sake of gaming, but most of all, being there for your friends. It was wonderful gaming with you guys tonight because for so many of you, it's been so long since I got to do it. You guys are so much fun, and we play so many games in the week, and I just keep missing. I just keep whiffing on all of you. So, um, Leah, come back more often, please. Welcome back. Please stay. Lots. Karis, I'm so happy that you're feeling up to playing again. Hooray. Please let me know. We've got games coming. Uh, Janet, I say this to you every time, but I keep following through on it. We're going to get you in more games. We're going to get you in more games because you're good at this. You don't just make good games. You play. You're an excellent player, and we're going to get you GMing at some point. Solar, you are always a pleasure to play with because your characters always have this. They start with this sense of innocence about them, and then they learn the hard knocks, and it's a pleasure to watch. So thank you for that. Everybody who wants to play plays. Everybody who wants to GM GMs. Everybody who wants to produce produces. You are yes, absolutely 100% correct. So I'm going to end with the thank yous. Thank to all of you. I almost forgot. Janet, Vicky is a treasure. An absolute. You played a an edgy Disney character, and that they're not common. And you played it perfectly. It's like convince me to be a hero. Yeah, halfway. Convince me some more, right? But then when it was time to when it was time to hero up, you ran up right beside Hikaru, who had been an ass to you all day, and you shoved the bomb in a dragon's chest. So
Yeah, you
yeah.
also forget to thank Sarah.
Oh, I'm getting there. I already talked about how great she was, but I'm going to thank all of you. So thank you, Janet, for that. Thank you. I'm going to go all the way around again. Thank you, Solar. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Karis. Thank you, Leah. And thank you, Janet. It was a pleasure to do this with all of you. You guys were nice to each other in game. You're nice to each other at a game. I'm going to use that as a segue to ask you to all please, when you're not here, until the next time we see you, please be nice to each other in the real world too.
And thank you, Kevin.
You're
Bye.
welcome.
Yes.
Good night.